In a quiet town on the American heartland, there lived a man named Martin Hayes, a kind-hearted high school history teacher whose life had all the seeds of greatness, yet for decades he waited. From the moment he graduated college and secured that stable teaching job, Martin told himself he would one day write the book he had always dreamed of. One day travel across the country. One day start the foundation for underprivileged students, he kept imagining. But he kept waiting for the right time. He waited until the kids were grown, until the finances were secure, until the ends came together. He waited while the years quietly turned into decades. By his mid-50s, he looked at the 20 years prior ambitious young man in the mirror and wondered, where did the time go? Martin's story is a familiar one. The man who watched opportunity flicker, then turned away because he thought he'd come back later. He missed the younger teacher colleagues, leaving to start their writing careers. He watched former students launch tutoring initiatives, dozens of blogs, podcasts, and local nonprofits, while he anchored his contented, dependable, predictable life because it was comfortable. He believed comfort was safety. He believed waiting was prudent. He believed success required perfect timing, but life has a way of moving even when we're not ready. And Martin, increasingly aware of the passing years, began to feel a quiet sense that the ship he meant to board might have sailed. In quiet evenings after school, he'd open the blank document on his laptop and stare. The cursor blinked. He'd open tabs on how to start a book, writing in later life, stories of late bloomers. Then he'd close the laptop and pick up a novel instead. The perfect moment never came. Studies show that waiting for the perfect moment is one of the most common reasons people delay taking meaningful action in their lives. In Martin's case, he realized that what he hoped would be a strategic pause had instead become a pattern of inertia. He told himself, when I have a sabbatical, when the kids are truly independent, when the finances fall in place, that's when I'll begin. But each milestone passed. The children left, the college. Then he became a grandparent. The finances stabilized, yet somehow a new reason to wait emerged. Now I'll wait until next summer, until the book's outline is refined, until I've taken that trip for inspiration. And the years slipped by. One day, waking up in his early 60s, Martin looked around at a house full of memories, at his tidy routines, and realized that those dreams he held were no longer abstract, they were fading. His heart sank when he realized the person he'd become: a well-loved teacher, a decent husband, a father figure to many, but not the Martin who had once been set on a daring path, writing his story, sharing his voice, making his mark. It wasn't that he lacked talent or opportunity. He had both. He had colleagues who published books in their 50s. He had friends who launched second careers. He had the time, but he lacked urgency. He believed waiting was the safe bet. He believed there would be a tomorrow. But the clearest lesson Martin learned was that waiting too long isn't safety. It's surrender. He began to ask himself, was this delay truly so that he could be better prepared? Or was it fear dressed in patience? The truth is, many of us live with the notion that if we wait long enough, the stars will align, conditions will be ideal, and we'll begin. But what the story of Martin shows is this. Sometimes the stars align, and you're still not ready, or more painfully, you've waited until you no longer have the energy, the fire, the time to begin with the same courage. In the years that followed his awakening, Martin finally cracked open his laptop one autumn evening, started typing his first chapter, and felt that long-dormant excitement surge inside. But the younger colleagues were no longer watching. The students had moved on. The book would take years. He felt both hope and regret intertwined. He came to terms with living a life of service rather than a life of publishing, but he also realized he could still begin, for beginning is always better than waiting. The story invites us, as viewers in the same age, bracket those of us in our 40s, 50s, even 60s, to reflect. Are you waiting for the perfect moment? Are you shelving your dreams in the one-day drawer? Because that drawer has a closing time. In the end, Martin's closing scene was not triumphant bestseller, not viral fame, but a quietly bound first edition with his name on the spine, shared with former students and friends. It was real, it was flawed, it was begun. And that made the difference. So if you find yourself hesitating, measuring every condition, believing that waiting is wise, remember Martin's truth. The right moment to begin is almost always now. And that is something worth remembering when you next ask yourself, why don't I start?